Hey guys, what's up? MadSeason here, back with another video for you. In this video, I thought I'd give you a preview of how Archaeology works this expansion since information about it has been pretty scarce. So I'll go over some of the changes they made since there's been a lot of major ones, and I'll also talk about some of the rewards you can get. One thing to keep in mind is that all of this is from the beta, so anything is subject to change. So far we have 3 new races, the Demons, the High Mountain Tauren, and the Highborn. I guess a good place to start with all of this would be the actual dig sites and how they compare to live servers. So far in the beta, you only have access to one zone for Archaeology, and that's Val-Shara, and this zone holds artifacts for the Demon race. Currently, since everything isn't fully implemented yet, this isn't something I can fully test, but to unlock the other zones we'll have to do a quest chain. I'll talk about this more later. A huge quality of life change with the actual digging is that whenever you're on top of a relic, an icon will appear above your head. This technically went live with patch 7.0, but I thought I'd mention it here since it's so major. This greatly speeds up the digging process, and if you combine it with add-ons such as Gatherer, these dig sites go by in a flash. As for the actual digging, it can be a little tougher in this expansion, more so than others, and that's because for one we don't have flying, and 2 is that the mobs scale with you this expansion, so you can't just out-level them and go around one-shotting everything. On the bright side though, so far the dig sites in Legion seem very small compared to live servers. Some dig sites on live servers, as I'm sure you know, are so massive that they can take a while to get through even with flying. In Legion, they're all pretty small. The mob density is a hit or miss. Some dig sites have just 1 or 2 mobs wandering about, and other ones are just infested with them. Each dig site gives you 9 relics, and each relic gives you 9 to 5 fragments. The solves have a pretty big range of required fragments. Some are as high as 170, and some are as low as 60. And in the Broken Isles, so far it looks like you can only have 3 dig sites up at once tops, as opposed to the normal 4. Now onto the rewards. We do have some various achievements. The most notable one is the No Stone Unturned achievement. This requires you to complete 250 dig sites in Legion, and it awards you with the title called the Groundbreaker. As for solves, they're a little different this expansion. As you know, each race has a variety of commons and rares to obtain, and each time you solve something, your next solve is random. In Legion, you only get commons and pristine commons from solves, and you get the rares from quest chains. So it looks like they're trying to take some RNG out of the system. As always, you can use the commons to crate them, and you can then use those crates to buy more fragments. Currently, the beta isn't updated, and the vendor doesn't sell fragments for Legion's 3 new races. I'm sure they'll be adding that soon, though. To speed up your solves, you also still have the bonus keystones, which count as 12 fragments each. There's also a chance that a mob will spawn whenever you dig up an artifact, and they drop bonus fragments. As for the pristine commons, just like on live servers, there's a random chance that you'll get these every time you solve a common. You can turn them in at the Archaeology building in Dalaran where you put them up for display. For rewards, you get 3 restored artifact crates and 1 keystone for the respective race. Now onto the meat of Archaeology for Legion, and that's the rares. As I mentioned, you no longer get these through solves. Instead, now you get them from a very long, involved quest chain. So far in the beta, once every 2 weeks you'll be able to get a quest from Darinus the Learned at coordinates 40, 27 in Dalaran. You can get this at level 1 Archaeology. The only requirement is that you have to be level 110. She'll send you out to try and uncover mysterious artifacts. I think this will be the way we unlock dig sites for all of the other zones. As for the rewards, for highlights we have an heirloom polearm, various toys, keys that unlock hidden side rooms and dungeons, a treasure demon pet, and the spirit of eche'ro mount. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. If you're interested in the lore, this was the companion of the legendary Hole in High Mountain. You'll learn all about him through questing in the zone that's named after him. So the rewards are pretty good. Those keys especially are really interesting. If you want to see those rewards more in depth, I'll have a link in the description so you can check them out for yourself. As for how the actual quest chain works, I'll just show you the first one so you can get the basic gist of it. The first one, once again obtained from Darinus the Learned in Dalaran, sends you to Bran Bronzebeard at 6289 in Val-Shara. In this expansion, once again he's looking to dig up some information on the Titans. He's also looking for a book from the Draenei planet, Argus. He'll send you on a quest to obtain 9 chapters of this book. Each chapter requires 40 pages, so that's 360 total, and you get these pages by digging in Val-Shara. It's pretty time consuming, but once you collect them all, he'll send you into the Darkheart Thicket dungeon where you have to get the final chapter from the last boss in there, the Shade of Xavius. You can do this on normal mode, so it's not too bad. Once you get that, the book is now complete. Head back to Bran Bronzebeard and he'll award you with the Purple Hills of Mockery. This gave me 2400 artifact power when I used it, and it may even give you more if you use those artifact research notes. This is probably one of the least useful rares out of the bunch, but it sort of makes sense since it's from the first quest. I think the rewards should scale up as you progress further into the chain. So once you have that quest done, you now have to wait 2 weeks until you can get the next part. No one really knows how many quests there are in total, but regardless, the whole process should take quite a while to complete for sure. So that's pretty much all there is to it. That's the end of the guide portion of this video, so if that's all you wanted, this video is pretty much over. But as for the question as if this new way of getting rares is better or worse, it'll vary from person to person. People who don't like waiting so long may not care for it, and people who hate the RNG nature of archaeology will probably welcome it. I personally like it. I don't mind waiting a while to get that pet or the mount or whatever. I think it's nice to have things slowly introduced so you don't burn through everything within the first month of the expansion. I think we've all had enough of that stagnation with Draenor. Archaeology has sort of been ignored for the last couple of expansions aside from quality of life improvements. So I'm just glad to see something different going on with it. It's one of my favorite professions because I love the lore that's tied to all of it. For example, that book was from Mockery, which was a sacred city on the Eredar planet Argus. This was the home planet of the Draenei before they called themselves Draenei, and it's where the more popular Eredar prophet Velen, Kil'jaeden, and Archimonde came from. Basically what happened and why this all ties with the Legion expansion is that the leader of the Burning Legion, Sargeras, took notice of this planet, and he proposed a deal to them. He offered them untold power in return for their loyalty and service. Kil'jaeden and Archimonde agreed to the deal, but Prophet Velen saw a vision showing that there were strings attached. In return for this power, the Eredar would also be transformed into demons. Velen eventually fled along with his like-minded followers, and they named themselves the Exiled Ones, otherwise known as the Draenei. Both Kil'jaeden and Archimonde took the deal, and we saw the consequences of that in the Sunwell and Hellfire Citadel raids. So I find this stuff really interesting, and I never would have read it if it wasn't from that book that we got from the quest chain because it sort of served as a breadcrumb. This is why archaeology is one of my favorite professions. So far, it seems with the way they have everything set up in Legion, they're sending you on this epic journey uncovering all of these ancient, mysterious artifacts, and I'm really looking forward to it. But that's pretty much all I have to say, I guess. I hope you found this video helpful. Give it a like if you liked it, and if you really liked it, let me know in the comments and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching, good luck, and peace.